Unfortunately, people with disabilities are being left behind in development. Even if inclusion is affirmed in the UN Convention on Human Rights of Persons with Disabilities and many other international instruments, we know that many interventions are still failing to include people with disabilities. Disability inclusion involves creating opportunities for everyone. It is our hope at the European Union that the proceedings of the next few hours will result in positive conclusions and tangible results on how we can ensure a more inclusive society that fully respects the rights and dignity of all, regardless of disability status. It is also no secret that societal barriers place persons with disabilities at increased risks of violence, poverty, poorer health outcomes, marginalization, and fewer educational and employment opportunities. And such outcomes are not inevitable, however. And this is the reason why we at the European Union invest in disability inclusion, because we believe in you, because we care about you. The statistics were recalled earlier, 35 million people living with disabilities. And on average, this means that 9 out of 10 of disabled people in Nigeria are also living below the poverty line. And these are stories, these are people who are struggling, who are really suffering on a daily basis, and we need to do something about it. Of course, women, children, youth, they constitute one of the categories of neglected and marginalized sectors in Nigeria, in Africa, and beyond. And yet we know that the humanity of our society is to a large extent measured by the way and the manner it treats these categories of their population, in particular persons with disabilities. Here in Nigeria, we commend the passage of the Disability Rights Law back in January 9, 2019, and the establishment of the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities. These are indeed steps in the right direction and underscores the government's commitment to the rights of persons with disabilities. But as has been recalled already earlier today, we know that we've been reminded that a good and adequate law is only effective as its implementation. And a failure to implement will render basically the law ineffective. So we cannot rest on our laurels, and I think, as has been mentioned, it's about time that we implement now, and that we put, all of us, and you can count on the European Union to contribute, to put the money where our mouth is, and make sure that we dedicate enough resources to fully implement that. Inclusive development takes place when an entire community, including people with disabilities, benefit equally from the development process. And inclusive development is also about considering key areas such as awareness of an active involvement of marginalized groups and the appreciation of the diversity that disability brings. This is consistent with our own policy, with our own disability policy as the European Union, and it responds also to our own motto: nothing about us without us. The EU has been a strong partner in Nigeria's effort to try to improve disability inclusion, and we've been working with a number of key stakeholders, many of them are present here today, to promote access to justice, political participation, as well as increasing access to basic social services. And we are proud of this work, and we want to continue moving forward together with all of the government authorities and different stakeholders, because it's a fight worth fighting. The community of persons with disabilities is very dear to us, and we have sought to prioritize their welfare while striving to include persons with disabilities at the heart of our own international partnerships across all of the interventions and projects that we fund in Nigeria. Therefore, it's also a duty to applaud the collaborative approach of today's events, bringing together all of the stakeholders, and to make sure that we continue working together moving forward to deliver as a whole, as a society, to make Nigeria stronger and more inclusive. We also welcome the new provisions of the Electoral Law Act of 2022 that also seek to enhance the participation of people with disabilities, and we believe that given the political will, the same progress should be made with regard to the participation of women in the electoral process. As the largest democracy in Nigeria, disability inclusion is crucial to the progress of the disability community in the continent and beyond. Everybody looks at Nigeria to be a living example. And I think that's also a heavy burden that we also carry on their shoulders. And we need to be able to deliver. We need to make sure that Nigeria remains a beacon of hope and example for others. European Union, as the Nigerian partners, long-standing partnership that we are, we stand ready and committed to continue supporting the Commission and all the stakeholders here present to enhance the capacity, the integrity, and the dignity of persons with disabilities. I would like to conclude by thanking you all once again for the invitation to speak briefly today, and I wish you all very successful.
Thank you very much. That's